Hello everyone and welcome to a video I've been meaning to do for a while. A video where I scroll through some top album charts. Top albums of all time for a couple of websites. So here we have Metacritic and Album of the Year. This is a website I actually often forget about, and it wasn't until last night where someone was like, hey, here's a list of top hip-hop albums, what do you guys think? And yeah, it kind of got my mind rolling. I should do a video like this. Okay, but completely off topic, but I'm gonna show off this sucker here. Psalms of the Morrowbound by Defeated Sanity on picture disc. Isn't that gorgeous? My god. I can't see what my camera looks like right now, so there's a chance that it barely even picked it up. Anyways, if you don't know Defeated Sanity, I always describe them as bands like Suffocation and Dying Fetus on crack. With just how fast and clean it is, and of course how skull-crushingly heavy it is too. Anyway, here we have Metacritic and Album of the Year. I'm not going to do Rate Your Music because I want to eventually do a video where I look at the top 25, 30, 40, 50 on Rate Your Music and do a pretty in-depth review of all of them, which might end up being a long video that I do in two parts, 25 one time, 25 the other. Out of the top 25, I have like 7 or 8 albums left, so I might be able to have that video done within a couple of weeks. Okay, I'm going to start with Metacritic, because this was actually a site I used to look at a fair bit when I was like 15, so pushing 6 years ago. Straight off the bat, I don't recognize any of these yet. Oh! To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick, great choice. That one is number 1 on RYM. I'm going to spoil this right now. Out of the top 25 on RYM, that is hands down my favorite album. The story that Kendrick tells here is nothing short of incredible. All the other different influences he pulls from. The lyrics is always for Kendrick a top tier. It's just a brilliant album all around. You guys already know that. Okay, what else do we got? Another Kendrick album. That's one of my lesser favorite Kendrick albums. If I was to rank Kendrick right off the top of my head right now, it'd be Butterfly, Mad City, then Damn, then maybe Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which I know is a hot take. A lot of people love that album. I just thought it was a bit too long for its own good. But then again, To Pimp a Butterfly was the same length, so I guess it is kind of hypocritical, but shut up. Then, of course, Section 80 at last, because it's just kind of like jammy and monotonous. It's still a solid listen. Definitely worth a listen for, Kendrick fans. Anyway, on with it. God, I don't know any of these for the moment. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that is an album I want to get to at some point. Because I've talked to some people who reckon I might like Kanye West. Like some of his more older stuff. Oh, oops. I accidentally opened this one. Ooh, another hip-hop classic. Very, very strange album, that's for sure. This is another album that's been talked about to the moon and back, so I don't really need to say too much more than that. Oh, come on. Nova Twins? What? Bro. Oh, I never said what I'd be expecting. For sure some classic prog rock. That's always high on lists like this. Some Pink Floyd and Yes. Oh, Seeing Close to the Edge by Yes. Like, at least top 100 would be sick. Obviously, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here. Fingers crossed for The Wall. There's probably going to be some Black Sabbath and Metallica on here. I got to bring up some metal, Hell, Dream Theater might even be in here. Those guys get pretty high on some lists. Fingers crossed, Scenes from Memory, Images and Words. We shall see though. Oh, okay. This is a pretty damn good post-rock album. I listened to this a couple of weeks back. And now finding out it came out the day before my birthday. That's pretty sick. Yeah, it gave me a lot of Godspeed You Black Emperor vibes with all the different instruments they throw in. Because on top of your regular rock band, they have like violins and other symphonic instruments. More post rock bands need to have violins and stuff because it just works beautifully. It makes them sound like an orchestra rather than a rock band. It's sick. Oh, yes. Yes. I literally ordered the the exclusive vinyl for this, which by the way has already sold out. So you can't get the same one as me. I am so looking forward to jamming this album for like just 25th time. I've noted out about this album like 4 or 5 different times. I even saw Deaf Heaven and they crushed it. So I'm not really going to say too much about that one. Rollo Tomasi this high, interesting. I heard that they're like this experimental-ish kind of metalcore band. I keep meaning to check those guys out. Oh, that is easily my favorite Behemoth album out of the like 4 that I've heard. Once again, came out the day before my birthday. That's pretty cool. And yeah, Noga was battling cancer at the time and channeled all that anger and frustration beautifully into this album. The lyrics are as dark as it gets, pretty much detailing how he might be gone soon. It's pretty heavy stuff. And sonically, wow, is this some crazy music. Oh my god. Come to think of it, that was an honorable mention for my favorite black metal albums list. If I expanded that all the way to 25, it might have been in there. Elephant by the White Stripes. My parents are both big White Stripes fans, so I've probably heard most of this album. Oh, is there a track list somewhere? Details and credits, there we go. Seven Nation Army, I definitely know. Well, everyone on Earth knows that. Jesus. Everyone on Earth knows that song. And the Cold Cold Night is a fun one. It's like quiet, acoustic-y kind of song. The Hardest Button to Button, that song is so dumb, and it works really well. Little Acorns is a fun one. I might spin that whole album at one point. Yeah. It's probably not going to be my thing, but worth a shot. Okay, what else do we got? Nick Cave, that name has appeared like 6 times already. It's only number 43. Taylor Swift, wow. 3 Kendrick albums in the top 50. Okay, that album is actually brilliant, so yeah. And some people think it's better than To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't think so by any stretch, but yeah, it's damn good. You of course have Money Trees, which is a giant song on TikTok and whatnot. And it's one of very few massive TikTok songs that is actually good. Come after me. Golden Grave by Baroness. Damn. That is actually a pretty solid album though. They're like really mastodon-y and kind of stoner rocky. That's actually a pretty solid album. It is long though. My god, it's like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. It is mostly worth it. But I do think it peaks instantly with its first track, which is so catchy, dude. My god. I remember when I first listened to that song, I had the bass line stuck in my head for like 2 weeks. That's by Olivia Rodrigo. Probably not going to be my thing, but since that's like a massive album right now, I might actually check that out. Okay, what else do we got? I'm not just saying this because I'm a metalhead, but how's there only been 2 metal albums so far? No Sabbath, or Metallica, or who else tops lists like this? Judas Priest. Where's Judas Priest? Or I don't know, Merciful Fate would probably be pretty damn high on a list like this. God. Oh, there's another metal album, Architects. That's a band who I'd probably really enjoy, but I've just never listened to. So, except for maybe like 4 or 5 songs. Converge, that's one of many Converge albums I haven't heard yet. 100 already. Damn. That was underwhelming. We got to do 101 to 3 to 200, I reckon. Hello. Interesting that Apex Predator is the highest for Napalm Death, instead of one of the classics or Smear Campaign or something. I recently just went through all of Napalm Death's discography. It was overall fantastic, and Apex Predator is definitely one of the best albums they have. Songs like Smash a Single Digit and Easy Meat and the really strange opening track. There's also a couple of other really, really good ones on here. And throughout Napalm Death's discography, I came to the conclusion that they were a band like Cannibal Corpse or Immolation, but they just needed to do what they do and not too much else. And their newest like 7 albums were all like that, and they were all bangers. So while it's probably maybe my 4th or 5th favorite Napalm Death album, I'm not going to argue it being the best. Well, best. This is a very strange album, actually. And it does not sound like Converge at all. So, props to them for making something very different sounding. Oh, I thought it said Natural Snow Buildings for a sec. Steven Wilson, okay. There's someone I need to listen to more. Oh, that's an album I keep meaning to check out as well. Oh, so many albums and not enough time. Ugh. Oh, where is Souvlaki by Slowdive, by the way? That's another album that always tops these lists. Wait, no Radiohead yet either. There's like 4 Radiohead albums in the RYM top 10. And I haven't seen a single thing by them yet. Oh man. Another Taylor Swift album too. Wow. Oh. Do I see one of my favorite rock albums of all time? That album is just so dense that I can't even do it justice right now, so I'm not even going to bother. Just know that I think it's a legit masterpiece, and we'll move on. I'll say it again, where is Bjork? Where's, Oh, hello. If you know, you know. Finally some Radiohead. It took until number 178. Wow. That's one of the few Radiohead albums I've not get into. I kind of have a bone to pick with Radiohead, which I'm probably going to save for the RYM video. Just know that... Okay, I'll get into it now instead. Radiohead on paper should be a band I love. Since they're a rock band who pulls from so many different influences, they're really strange. The way they write is kind of progressive. So you'd think I'd be all over them. But no. I don't know what it is. I still cannot get into them. And it's not an issue of I haven't listened to them enough. I've listened to OK Computer, Kid A, and In Rainbows all 3 times over. And I'm like, they're fine. Best albums of all time though? Hell no. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I just can't get into them. God. Bring me the horizon. Oh my god. Ugh. I'm gonna go through this list by myself. And if I get to like page 10 without seeing any Pink Floyd or anything like that. Anyways. Fingers crossed album of the year is something better. Straight off the bat, I have not listened to that album, but I might give it a shot. Rumours. Great rock album. I'll leave it at that. That's one that's in the RYM Top 25, so I will be listening to that eventually. I've listened to like 2 songs by them. They were okay. Revolver by the Beatles. Much like Radiohead, they're a band I'm not too crazy about overall. Because on Revolver and Rubber Soul and albums like that, I feel like the songs are like too short. And this isn't just because, oh, Ben's a prog nerd who needs it long. I just genuinely think that they don't quite stick around for long enough. Because on Rubber Soul and Revolver, I'll be really getting into a song and I'll be like, that's already over? There's not more? So on a lot of Beatles albums like this, where there's like 15 songs, if they rate it down to like 11 or 12 maybe, and expanded them just a little bit, that'd be pretty sick. For my taste at least. Okay. Definitely a Beatles album I like a little bit more. As far as I'm aware, it's their only full-blown concept album. And it's probably their most musically varied. Because they pull from, like, Indian and Middle Eastern music all the damn time on this album. And yeah, it's a classic for a reason. There's definitely going to be some more Beatles. My favourite Beatles album is probably Abbey Road. So it'd be cool to see that at some point. Rubber Soul, yes. I just said that I'm not the hugest fan of it. Because I feel like the songs are too short for their own good. So we'll move on. 3 Beatles albums in the top 10. Wait, 4? 1, 2, 3... Hey! Abbey Road at number 10. Like I said, that is probably my favourite Beatles album. So, good. We'll move on. That's another one which is in the RYM top 25, so I will get to that at some point soon. That is another one which is in the RYM top 25, so I'll get to that one soon. It's the Beatles, not the Beatles, Jesus. It's Led Zeppelin. I didn't hear you say anything about that. Because it's Led Zeppelin. One of the weirdest albums you will ever hear in your entire life. Oh my god. This is like the jumping off point for avant-garde rock. Or as they put it, experimental rock. Most of the lyrics on here are just absolute nonsense. And it's hilarious. It's an album that's like really ugly and messy, but in a fun kind of way. Like there's so many bits of it where I'm like, oh. Hell, I listened to this album for my second time a few days ago. And I was like playing Dark Souls, so I'm just sitting there like... I love this album though. Because you know me, I like it weird. It's definitely a hair too weird for my liking, but the experimentation is just too interesting to ignore, I reckon. Okay, they're only showing 25 per page. Interesting. I think that's another one which is super high on RYM, which I'll get to at some point. Great jazz album. Another one that's really weird and experimental. And it's only 7 songs, and all of them are really long. So it's definitely a challenging listen. Just like a lot of jazz albums, though, the musicianship here is just absolutely off the chain. Because as far as I know, it's just jam sessions. But it sounds like they have played these songs like 15 times over and then recorded them. And it's a live recording too, I think. Like they just got all the members in the studio and just jammed it out. Both times I listened to this album, I was like, God. Jazz musicians are just on a whole other level. And yet it's another one like Trap Mask Replica where it's got a bunch of melodies that kind of make me go, oh. I don't know if I like that or not. That is one I've been meaning to get to for literally years. Oh man. Hey! My favorite album of all time. Enough said. That's another one which is in the RYM top 25. Take a drink every time I say that, because I've already said it like 12 times. Across how long? 20 minutes. Have we seen Kendrick yet? I don't think so. I think that's another RYM Top 25 one. That's another RYM Top 25 one. This is a pretty damn good jazz album. I have already listened to this one, by the way. It was very chill and relaxing. I remember I wrote a uni paper while I was doing this, and it fits so well. And there were some parts of it where they're just like kind of just shredding. I had to kind of stop for a second to be like, whoa, that is cool. It was also a really short album too. It was like 34 minutes or something like that. Spread across only 4 long songs. So I was like, okay. Went by quick, it was enjoyable enough. The first and only album by the Sex Pistols, I do need to check that out as well. God, I also need to check that out. Oh. Like I said, too much music and not enough time. Another one I've been meaning to check out. Ooh. That is probably my second or third favorite Floyd album. Second. I've been meaning to do a Pink Floyd ranking for so long, so I'm going to save most thoughts for that. Also, is that the first Floyd album we've seen? Do I know nothing on this entire page? Interesting. Well, both of those charts were pretty disappointing. I'm shocked that we did not see something by Yes. Nothing by Bjork. Nothing by Sabbath or Priest. Iron Maiden. Where was Iron Maiden in all of that? Would be nice to see like Power Slave or something, because that's pretty much always critically the top. Stay tuned for the RYM video. And that is all for me today.